What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, Let's Rock Reviews. We are back again. Guess who's back? Just kidding. We got a fun one today, I think. KROQ is a local station here. It's a rock station, 106.7. I don't think there's I think you can download any state or there's apps where you can get all these stations anyway. So, I mean, yeah, it's local to Los Angeles, California. But they often do top lists like most radio stations do. MTV does them as well. And recently they did the top 500 songs of the last 30 years. And just for reference, those years are 1994 to 2024.
Indeed. It's a big list. It's lot
daunting.
Yeah. It's I think as we were discussing them before we started to record this, we're like just going back and forth like, oh man, this band, and like it's pretty exciting. And we thought we'd do a little list of our own. We didn't want to go over all 500 of the songs.
Well, I did, but Kurt was like, that'll take way too long. So no, I'm just kidding.
We didn't want to post a 20-hour podcast. We thought we could like list off the top 10 that they listed, and then Kyle and I decided, hey, why not share our top 10? And
from Kyle, that list of 500.
Exactly. Only with these songs, which would be our top 10. And I feel like we had certain criteria we wanted to stick within too, Kyle.
Yeah, there was some we wanted to stay one song per band, because then it's hard enough with a list of 500 songs. And you got to realize this is a radio station that plays the kind of music that we like very much. So they're going to have a lot of the bands that we like. And so there's multiple songs per band. So we stayed away from multiple songs from one band. We also stayed away from the Foo Fighters, because we did just an entire series of podcasts about every single one of their albums. So we thought we'd leave them off the list as well. We
only had 12 podcasts, 12 different episodes regarding the Foo Fighters.
12 one-hour podcasts about the Foo Fighters.
Exactly.
So we thought we'd keep it there. We're going to read you the top 10. And keep in mind that this list, of course, is subjective in many ways. First of all, the list is subjective to KROQ, because whoever made this list is obviously a pretty heavy Linkin Park fanboy. Or fangirl, for that matter.
I mean, it is hard to, argue against having them. Like, they did play them a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong, Linkin Park's amazing, and they did incredible stuff, but there is quite a few Linkin Park songs on this list. In fact, not only are they at the top of the list, but they're at the bottom of the list, and very many times in between.
Yes.
I think you see them twice in the top 20 even. All right, so real quick, Kurt, take us down the top 10 of KROQ's actual list, and then we'll go into ours.
Yeah, we'll just do this real quick. Number 10 was Red Hot Chili Peppers with Danny California. I am kind of surprised. I thought it would have been in like Californication or something like that.
Yeah, right. I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I still really like
a good song,
Danny California. Yeah, fantastic. Number 9, The Offspring, Self-Esteem, off their 1994 album Smash. Number 8, No Doubt, going with the Southern California band with Just a Girl.
I gotta say though, I love to see No Doubt in the top 10. I was happy about that for sure.
Oh yeah, well earned.
Oh yeah.
Number 7, we have Green Day with Brain Stew / Jaded. Two separate songs, but I loved that they would often include playing Jaded. In fact, I would get upset when they would play Brain Stew and cut it off and not include Jaded. I'm like, come on. Anyway, yeah. Number 6, we got Sublime with Santeria. Santeria. Number 5, Blink 182, All the Small Things. That's definitely been one of the more played songs from the band. Number 4, The Killers, Mr. Brightside. Number 3, The White Stripes with Seven Nation Army. Number 2, a song you may have heard us talk about, Foo Fighters,
We may
Everlong.
have mentioned it.
Yeah, I've heard of it. And number 1 was Linkin Park, In the End, off of their album Hybrid Theory.
I gotta say, just right off the bat, there's only one band on this list that I agree that is their best song. To put that at the top 10. There's only one of these 10 bands that I think that is their
Really?
actual best song. No, two. Sorry,
Okay.
two. There's two.
What's that?
I just had to say that.
What would you say then?
I'll tell you later what I think.
Okay.
For sure. But no. I was just saying, like, there's two bands on that list where I agree that that's their best song, that I would put that song as the top, because they have all these bands are on here a couple times. And but I would put some of their other songs higher is what I'm saying. There's two bands on that list that I'm like, okay, that is their best song. That's the song I like the most.
Got it. So yeah, that's KROQ's list. I don't think I saw anything regarding their reasoning. I don't know if it was like number of plays or just their perceived popularity.
Yeah, I looked into that too. I didn't find anything about it.
And I mean, anytime you come out with a list, there's always going to be people like outraged. I know we were outraged at a few things, but
completely outraged.
Yeah, which is why we want to emphasize for this episode, this is completely like our preference. It's not like, oh, this had, this song, it influenced this band and this band. It's like
there is no science behind this, is what he's
exactly. which was slightly frustrating for me as an engineer. No, it's very much just like, actually some of the songs I might have been like, just the influence it had on other bands. Other songs I'm like, I just really like this song. So
that's very true. Same with my list too. We got to say we're gonna do top tens. Before we do number one, we'll probably do honorable mentions. I like that format when you ever seen Watch Mojo or WatchMojo.com? They do YouTube video top 10 lists. They have some great top 10 lists, and right before they do number one, they'll do their honorable mentions. We'll probably do that format as well. We do have some snubs as well, some things that we think we should be on the list, but we'll talk about those a little bit later as well. So Kurt's going to tell his top, or I'm going to start. I'm going to say my number 10, then Kurt's going to give his number 10, and we're going to go down the list that way. Again, subjective, opinionated. Don't be mad, because this is just what we think. Because I got to tell you, this was hard. I had so much fun doing this, but this was hard, man. There was like I had to cross names off my list, and like physically hurt me to do it, because I was like, they're so good. I don't want to not give them credit or not like have them be on my list, as if they're gonna listen to me and be like, hey, why'd you leave me off your top 10 list?
Right. Well, we were texting each other before this episode, and I think we both started out like winding it down. It started at 250. It was hard, just like,
every other song was like, yep.
Yeah. And then I think we each had like, okay, a top 50, top 25. And then like, it really, it got difficult towards the end there.
Crossing off those last few songs was very difficult.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun listening. I don't know about you, but like listening to some of these songs for the first time in a long time was so awesome. Like, it's nostalgia for songs that I haven't remembered in a long time. It was great. And there's just some good music here. Good music. Please check out this list, because if nothing else, it'll remind you of some bands you might used to listen to, or some songs that you might have forgotten over the years, and it'll remind you of some good times, man. I promise you that.
Absolutely.
All right. Kurt, are you ready? Anything else you want to say?
Let's do this. You starting us off?
I am. I got number 10.
One more thing.
Yeah, please.
For the audience, we're going into this blindly. I don't know what Kyle picked yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like our reactions are going to be pretty fun.
We wanted to keep it that way because I wanted the reaction we had to each other to be more genuine. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Kurt had the idea, and I was like, that's great. We're gonna keep it. So he has no idea what my top 10 is. I have no idea what his top 10 is. And later
Indeed.
on, I have a guest top 10 as well.
Oh, nice. Good. All right,
All
go
right.
for it now. Sorry, I interrupted.
No worries, no worries. Number 10, Freak on a Leash by Korn.
Wow.
I gotta say, Korn and not I don't listen to Korn a whole ton, but if we're talking about the past 30 years, Korn was always awesome, and the video and the song "Freak on a Leash" I feel like was pretty, uh, pretty big pioneer in brought metal or new metal, whatever you want to call it, into the minds and homes of a lot of people, and I think Korn was the catalyst for that in many ways. And so number 10 on my list is "Freak on a Leash" by Korn.
Nice. Yeah, they were definitely at the forefront of like the quote unquote new metal scene.
Yeah,
I was I went through my Korn phase
yeah,
back in
for
high
sure.
school. All right. Number 10 for me. I picked Beck, Loser.
Nice. That's a great
Yeah.
song.
I just a classic. It really just like summed up. I was like looking up just like people talking about that song, and it was really summed up the 90s like slacker culture, and like people just embraced it. That really got Beck on the map. And
Oh yeah.
I will say it might not, well, I don't know. One after Loser, he came out with the album Odelay, which I think is a fantastic album. Like, there's not one song on there that I'm just like super pumped about, but just like the whole album, all the songs together, I'm just like, this is a fantastic album. So the song Loser, good song, and it just really just, you know, he took off from there. And I love just he's a great musician. I love the way he like combines just like all sorts of genres, like folk, funk, uh, alternative, a little bit of country, just like everything. So that'll be my number 10.
Very cool. Good
Yeah.
choice. All right. Number 9. Um, I knew this band was going to be in my top 10. And the song, I went back and forth with a couple of their songs, but I settled on "Bulls on Parade" by Rage Against the Machine.
Oh man. Yeah. That's just
For those of
yeah.
you who don't know, I play the bass. Or I've played the bass for a lot of years. I'm not very particularly good at the bass, but I love. So I've played the bass. I played it, and so when I listen to bands, one of the first things I notice about them is the bass. And I've always loved Rage Against the Machine. I always loved them even more because of their bass lines are so good.
Yeah.
And the Renegades of Funk, Bulls on Parade, Testify, Guerrilla Radio, all great bass lines. But I did settle on Bulls on Parade because it's just a great song.
I think that's their best song.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too for sure. But yeah, that's my number 9.
Love it. All right, my number 9. I picked Stone Temple Pilots, Vaseline.
Nice. Good one, dude.
I, it was a few months ago. I forgot what radio station it was, but they were doing something for the 90s. And like a few of the DJs, they're just like, all right, first band that comes to your mind right now when you think of the 90s. And like in my head, I did it. And for some reason, first band that came to my mind was Stone Temple Pilots. Just a great band. I love that song. I saw them a while back. I mean, this was kind of before I got like really into them, but each song they were playing, I was just like, oh, I love this song. And like the next song, like, oh, I love this song. It's like, oh, this is Stone Temple Pilots. They're a great band. And but yeah, that was at KROQ Weenie Roast. But yeah, it was
Nice.
Great. Stone Temple Pilots, great band.
Very good. All right. My number 8 is actually The band is actually in the top 10 of KROQ's list, but the song I have is different. So my number
Okay.
8 is "The Kids Aren't All Right" by The Offspring.
Ooh,
That song
interesting.
has been a mainstay. In fact, I have, I mean, Kurt, how many CDs did we make in my house over the years, dude? How many CDs did we burn? And
Yeah.
the last CD I ever burned, the last CD I ever burned was for a road trip that we were taking to Arizona. This was many years ago. My grandma passed away. We were driving. We drove out to, she's in
Mm,
hospice. We would say bye. This isn't supposed to be sad. This was a long time ago, 10,
yeah.
12 years ago. And
Yeah.
I made a CD for the road trip because we drove out there twice in 2 weekends. And this song, "The Kids Aren't All Right," is one of the songs on that CD. So it's just been because it's the only CD I have left, and it's been in my CD player of my car since I've had my car, since I've
Nice.
had the car I
Good.
drive now, which is quite some time. And my daughter will ask to listen to it sometimes, and she'll be like, "Can we listen to your DVD?" She'll call it the DVD. She
Nice.
doesn't know what CDs are, but she knows what the DVD is. But yeah, "Kids Aren't All Right" by The Offspring. Offspring, I don't think anyone can argue with the fact that they are a epic, prolific band who impacted the music scene in a huge way, especially especially in the '90s. But yeah, "The
Yeah.
Kids Aren't All Right," number 8.
Very cool. All right, my number 8. I've got Phoenix, 1901.
I knew you were gonna pick that one. I knew it. I was going through the list and because I had Phoenix written down and I was like, you know what? I bet you anything Kurt's gonna pick this one. He's gonna pick
You got
Phoenix.
that right. Yep.
I knew it.
They have become one of my favorite bands, and I
They're
mean,
so good, man. They're so fun to
yeah,
listen to.
they're fun. They're probably, this might sound weird or just unique for me, but they're one of the most like consistent bands that I like. Like each of
Interesting.
their each of their albums, there's like, they're different, but it's like I know I'm gonna like it. Like, and all their albums I do, it's just like they're they just maintain that consistency of just being good, playing good music. And I think I remember what got me into Phoenix. 1901 was on the NHL hockey game we played on the Wii. I don't know if you remember that,
Like, yeah, I
but
do.
yeah, the song came on and like we're playing, and I'm just like, this is a pretty good song. And I remember just looking them up and then just like looking at all the rest of their albums and like, these guys are good. And yeah, the album Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix, the album which 1901 is on, that's like one of my favorite albums. Like, as a whole, there's so many good albums out there, but
Oh
like
yeah.
the whole thing I can just listen to start to finish. And yeah, great song. That's my number 8.
Awesome. A great number 8. All right,
Yeah.
number 7. "Still Waiting" by Sum 41. I had to have
Oh,
Sum 41 on the list. I love Sum 41. "Still Waiting." I mean, they've been around forever. They just came out with a new album, new song, and it is fantastic. I love their new song.
yeah.
But "Still Waiting" is in my mind classic, iconic Sum 41 from back in the day.
That's my favorite by them.
Yeah, yeah.
Great
So
song.
yeah,
Have you
that's
seen
my
the
number. I don't know what else to say about that. It's just classic, iconic Sum 41. "Still Waiting."
have you seen the music video for that?
Oh yeah.
Is it what's his name? Will Sasso? Is that his name? From Mad TV in the beginning. He's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
the record label executive, and yeah, funny music video.
When they're
Anyway,
talking about the Sums, you're the Sums now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're the Sums. The Sums. He's like, this, I guess. He's like, "Do you smoke?
The
Smoke them up, Johnny."
yeah the the number thing is out. Blink
It's out.
182, Green Day 75.
Yeah. That's a great video. I love that.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, we're on number 7. You just
Mhm.
did number 7.
Yep.
All right, my number 7 is Beastie Boys Sabotage.
I'm so glad you put Beastie Boys in your list. That makes me so happy.
Such a great song.
It
It's, yeah,
is.
definitely my favorite song by them. Um, I just love, well, Beastie Boys as a whole. I love the variety. They can rap, they can rock, they can do it all. So many other bands have cited them as being an influence. Like, you know, you talked about Rage Against the Machine. I think they mentioned Beastie Boys.
Yep.
Who else? Like Anthrax, Eminem. I mean, yeah, they've made their mark for sure. And Sabotage also has an amazing music video.
Yeah, it does. I love that one.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6. Now I didn't know if we no, we didn't. Never mind. My number 6 is one of my first favorite songs ever. It's Down by 311.
Yes.
And 311 has been one of those bands that I've been listening to for as long as they've been around. It's been forever. So to not have them on my top 10 list felt just wrong, because we've seen them live. You and I saw them together, and it was an incredible show. We waited till the very end just to hear them play Down. And
Yeah.
I remember when they came out, he said, "This is for some of the old school fans." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's me. He's playing this for me."
That's me. That's me. He's talking about
This
me.
was what, 2-3 years ago we saw this. And yeah, we were old school fans 3 years ago, so we're even more old school fans now.
Oh yeah.
Classic song, and by every stretch of the imagination, from a band who has done, you know, who needs no introduction, as it were.
Yeah. Glad to hear that. All right, my number 6, a band you have mentioned already, but a
Nice.
different song.
Okay.
I went with The Offspring, Come Out and Play.
Oh, yes. Another great song.
Got to keep them separated.
Hey.
So The Offspring Smash, that was the first full length or regular album. Yeah, Smash, first album I purchased, first CD. So I mean, I had to include this on here. I love, and this was before they, you know, I don't want to bash The Offspring, but you know, this was when they were still kind of like more in the punk direction. They've kind of become a little more mainstream.
Yeah.
Not to say they're bad, but I'm just saying it was a different time. They were still on what was it? Epitaph Records.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, still like all the punk label. But I love that it's still a good song today. I feel like, you know, whenever there's fights at hockey games, you know, they still play this song, you know.
You gotta keep
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
But yeah, had to give a shout out to this song. So it's my number 6.
Nice. Very cool. All right.
Oh yeah.
My number 5. M&M's by Blink-182.
Yes.
I listen to All the Small Things for sure. This is just as every kid, every man my age did when he was a kid. But M&M's is in my mind. I mean, same thing you said about the Offspring before they went a little more. You know, and you hate to say it because you don't want to criticize an artist for changing the way they do their art, you know, and I'm not trying to criticize, because I love All the Small Things. I love Blink-182, but M&M's was to me like when they were a little more punk, a lot more punk rather. So classic old school Blink-182 M&M's.
Nice. All right, my number 5, going with Smashing Pumpkins, Tonight.
Dude, I gotta tell you, that was the 12th song I had to cross off.
Oh,
it was in my top 12 and I crossed it off. Right here, Tonight, Smashing Pumpkins. So I agree with you on this one for sure.
Yeah, this was one I mean, it hurt to cross off like my 11 and 12, but like this was one I just physically could not cross off my list.
Nice.
So, great song. I love the orchestra in the song, with the strings, and it's just a beautiful song. I love all of it, but like especially like towards the end, like a little after the 3-minute mark, and great music video for this as well. I guess it really has like the Smashing Pumpkins style. Like this was before YouTube came out, but like I feel like everyone knew this music video. It was
Oh
based off
yeah.
of like the style of I can't pronounce his name. George's Malay's silent film, A Trip to the Moon. Good music video. They did a live performance of this at the 96 MTV Video Music Awards, and they brought in the orchestra to play. It was amazing. Great song.
A guy I work with, we went and saw Smashing Pumpkins a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, I
They played
remember
this
that.
song, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It should be noted that number 11 on this list, the KROQ list, is 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins. But I do agree, Tonight belongs. 1979 is an amazing song. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
I would
Definitely.
agree that Tonight goes on this list for sure.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at? Number 4.
Number 4?
All right, this one I kind of struggled with. Oh no, that's not my number 4. Sorry. Oh, here it is. Sorry, back of the page. I have two sides of my note card.
Nice.
My number 4 is Schism by Tool.
Ooh.
It's a song. It's one of those songs I learned to play on the bass, and I played it all the time to where my kids never knew the song, but then, yeah. And my kids never knew the song until I played it one time, and they were like, "Hey, that's that song you always play." And Tool is just a band that is that guy. Maynard is just amazing. He's an amazing musician. He's an amazing artist. He's done some incredible stuff with music in multiple bands, and he is incredible. And just the musicality of this the guitars and the bass and the way the music fits together in Tool songs is just incredible to me. I love the music more than anything, more than the lyrics, more than the words. I love the music so much, and that's why I put Tool number 4.
Very nice. All right, my number 4, a band a little different than Tool.
A little different.
I'm guessing, just like Phoenix, you probably saw this and you're like, "Oh, Kurt's gonna put it on." But I put the Postal Service, Such Great Heights.
Good song. Great song. Great song.
It's the whole album as well. Like this is another album, like start to finish. I'm not gonna skip anything. One of my favorites. I think something that makes it so great. It's for those of you that aren't too familiar with Postal Service, it's Ben Gibbard of Death Cab for Cutie and then Jimmy Tamborello from Dintel, and like two different music styles, but when they're together, like fused together, it's something unique. It's something different and something just really fun. And
it is. That's a good way to describe it too. It's fun. It's the music is just incredible.
Yeah. I gotta say, I saw so this album came out in 2003, and a little over a year ago, they did a 20th anniversary of this album. This and Death Cab for Cutie's Transatlanticism. They played both albums in full. Don't ask me how, but I was able to get pit tickets at the Hollywood Bowl to see this.
Don't ask me how.
I got to the very front. I was at the rails, and it was just epic. Like
that's awesome.
It felt like just a jam session. There, the people that help out in the background, like behind the stage or to the side of the stage, setting up or just sound and everything. Like even they were like dancing around. They weren't working. They were enjoying.
They weren't working.
But like it was just an amazing experience, and that just, I mean, that's the music. It's just great. Everyone, not everyone, but it's one everyone can enjoy. So
Awesome, man.
yeah.
All right, number 3,
Number 3.
Sugar by System of a Down. This song got me into hard rock. This is the one song that got me into hard rock, and it always has that special place in my heart. Love Sugar, love System of a Down, love their old stuff.
This was high school for us.
Yeah, for sure. You can see I can't let go, right?
Yeah.
That was before high school, man. I wasn't even in high school yet. That was like
Oh
eighth
yeah.
grade for me when
Yeah,
I
when it
first heard
came
that
out.
song.
When it came out, yeah. But we were definitely big into it in high school.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Nice. All right. My number 3. I'm going with Weezer. And I went with
Nice.
Buddy Holly.
Very
And
good.
yeah, it's funny because when we were discussing it in our Weezer episode, I said my favorite was Say It Ain't So.
Yeah.
But but I also did add, if you ask me in another week, it'll probably change. But I did
Lo and behold.
choose. What's that?
I said, lo and behold, it changed.
Yeah. There's something about when we're trying to represent top 10 songs of the past 30 years. There's something something in me, I just was like, you know what? We're going to say the top 10 songs of 30 years. I think I got to choose Buddy Holly. So something about that song.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
We're getting into the top 2 here.
And you know what? It's so funny too, because when I originally got I wasn't even worried about an order yet. I just wanted to get a top 10. So when I finally had 10 songs, I want to say like the order is kind of subjective in a way, even more so than the list, because I kind of just threw numbers on there. I was like, oh yeah, this one works for this number. And so I don't want to be like, I like this band more than I like this band. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to like rate them. Once you get like top 10 songs, you're like, these are 10 great songs. How do I put these in order? But I did the best I could, and I did the best on what I thought. This isn't particularly my second favorite band of all time by any means, but I do think their music is some of the best music, and the way they play, the style of music they have is both rock and it's enjoyable, and I don't know, I think their music is just special. It's No One Knows by Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's perfect for you.
I love them. They're one of the when I first got into vinyls and I started collecting records, it was one of the first records I got.
Nice.
I love these guys. I love that music. I love how it rocks, but it's still fun. It still pops, and I don't know. Queens of the Stone Age are a great band.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, my number 2. I did Sublime, Doing Time.
Nice.
This is just like the ultimate like summer vibes song. I had to include Sublime in my top 10.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, this song, this is gonna be the one on there. Yeah, just a fantastic song. Great vibes.
It is a good song.
I think I mentioned it in a previous episode of something. But Sublime, that was my first band T-shirt that I got.
Oh yeah, you did mention that. That's cool. All right, we're down to the end here.
Oh man, number 1.
Well, before we go to number 1, we got to talk about our honorable mentions.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Which is tough, man, because there's so many. Like this original list that I made has Death Cab for Cutie. It has Cake on it. Well, actually, Cake. Sorry, I just spoiled one of my honorable mentions. Had the Strokes, AFI, Cage the Elephant, Garbage. I wanted to include Garbage, Only Happy When It Rains so bad. I was like, I can't justify. No Doubt. There was a No Doubt song I wanted in there. Mighty Mighty Bosstones made the list, and I love the Mighty Mighty Bosstones so much. MXPX made the list. Real Big Fish, Sell Out. Pepper by Butthole Surfers. That was one of those songs I was like, this used to be one of my favorite songs. But it hurt all that time. But there's a few that I did want to mention.
Okay.
Paranoid Android by Radiohead is a
Oh
fantastic
yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Closing Time by Semisonic is, in my opinion, maybe with Eagle Eye, but the greatest one-hit wonder of all time. Song 2 by Blur is
Oh
just great. Beastie Boys is on my honorable mentions. And then the ones I crossed off were Lazy Eye by Silver Sun Pickups. I love Silver Sun Pickups. The
yeah.
Distance by The Cake. Tonight Tonight by Smashing Pumpkins. The Red by Chevelle. Clint Eastwood by Gorillaz. And the Face Down, or not the Face Down, Face Down by the Red Jump Set Apparatus. I know that's a lot of honorable mentions, but I just wanted to get out there all the things I wanted to do.
I was about to say I felt bad having like 3 on my honorable mention.
No. I felt guilty about taking a lot of these names off, so I had to mention a bunch because there was a bunch that I wanted to include, but there was only room for 10. So
Got it.
All right, what are your 3, sir?
All right. Well, I think I would have put something by Blink 182. You did
Nice.
Eminem's. I think I would have included something from Dude Ranch. That was that was a great album.
Such a great album.
Yeah. Another one on there, something by Green Day.
Nice.
Brain Stew, that was in KROQ's top 10. I mean, that's hard to pick against that. So
Right?
it could have been Brain Stew. It could have been something off of Dookie. Even Hitchin' a Ride off of Nimrod. I loved that song.
That's a good one too, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of my honorable mentions, I feel like it boils down to the band, not necessarily a specific song. But one other one, maybe a little different than my list and those 2 honorable mentions. I think I would have chosen, well, okay, I'll name one that was on the list. Chemical Brothers, Block Rockin' Beats.
Nice, yes.
Yeah, and it's more like not so much my love for Chemical Brothers. I did enjoy their music, but the genre, like the whole electronic genre, like with Fatboy Slim, Moby, The Prodigy, Daft Punk.
Daft Punk, yeah.
Like in the 90s, like that whole genre was big, and it wasn't just like electronic stuff. It was like electronic with rock, and I really loved that. If Moby, actually his song South Side with Gwen Stefani was on the list, I might have chosen Body Rock by Moby. I really liked that song. But yeah, my third honorable mention, I would put the whole like electronic genre.
The whole electronic genre.
Yeah, led by Chemical Brothers, Block Rockin' Beats. So.
That's funny, man. I love
it.
You said you had a snub as well. What's your snub?
Oh, okay. My snub. Oh man. I was kind of upset with this. They did not include At the Drive-In, One Arm Scissor.
A great snub. A great snub.
For those listening, just to let you know, Kyle and I are big fans of the band At the Drive-In.
They are fantastic.
We were gonna go see them live, and then the band broke up. that might not be one that you might have heard of, why bands cancel tours. But the first show they canceled was the one we were going to. Anyway, I'm still not angry about that. And
that's something I think about often.
Yeah. But I mean, yes, we are big fans, so we might be a little biased, but also like KROQ played them a lot. Like they played One Arm Scissor. They included At the Drive-In for one of their almost acoustic Christmas concerts. So they weren't just like a no-name band. Like, you know, you and I, we probably easily could have been in our like top 20, maybe our top 10s, but I'm surprised they didn't even have them in the list in like the 400s. Like,
right? Not even at all.
Yeah, they played them. So I don't think it's unreasonable of me to say they got snubbed. And recently I got a new book. It's called Sellout. It's about like these bands that like maybe like punk and whatever, and then they became big. And one of the bands they talk about is At the Drive-In. So it's like,
Oh, interesting.
they're acknowledging like, hey, they became big.
Yeah.
And yeah, for those of you that aren't familiar with them, they were very like underground for a while. They had like 3 albums, 3 EPs. I lost count exactly, but their last album, Relationship of Command, that was kind of like their big, like, that's when they became well known. So I'm calling this a snub, and I stand by that.
Nice.
Yeah. You have a snub?
I do, but I can't reveal it yet because it relates to my number 1 pick.
Oh, interesting.
I do find it surprising that they didn't include All Time Low, though. Unless I missed it. All Time Low, you know, they lived in the shade of Fall Out Boy for a long time. And but I do think that they were popular enough to worthy inclusion of a top 500 list, especially in terms of pop music and pop rock and stuff like that. But I did find it surprising. And then they did have some Fall Out Boy on here, and I was upset, not that they had Fall Out Boy on there, but that they didn't include Uma Thurman by Fall Out Boy. In my opinion, that song is much better Fall Out Boy song than the other ones. Anyway, I'll give you my ultimate snub when I reveal my number 1. Are we ready? Is there anything else you want to say? Any snubs or honorable mentions you have?
You know, because At the Drive-In was such a big snub, all the other snubs are like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So let's do
because after you said At the Drive-In, I was like, oh yeah, I guess All Time Low wasn't in there. No big deal. Uma Thurman, whatever.
Yeah.
Like At the Drive-In should have been here.
Right.
All right.
What's your number 1? Let's do
number 1. Again, not necessarily my favorite band of all time, just the number 1 on this particular list. And one of the reasons they're number 1, that I put them on number 1, because there was so many good songs on this list from this band that I went back and forth between 3 different songs.
Yeah.
Because they were all so good. I'll tell you the band first, and then I'll tell you the song and why I chose it. The band is Incubus.
Ooh.
I love Incubus, and my snub is A Certain Shade of Green.
I could see that, yeah.
It is iconic, and one of their original classics was A Certain Shade of Green. Came out in 97.
Okay.
And just one of their greatest songs. And to not have it included, but have Animali and Megalomaniac and Pardon Me on this list, to me is, and they actually have Pardon Me at number 15 on this list, but I chose Animali, Incubus Animali.
Okay.
It's to me, it's such a good sampling of what Incubus's range is. I had a hard time not picking Megalomaniac, but because of how hard that chorus hits, it's so good.
Nice.
But definitely my number 1 Incubus song is A Certain Shade of Green, and it wasn't even on the list. So that's my snub and my number 1, Incubus. Love them.
Okay.
They're incredible, and fun to listen to. That's my number 1.
Love it. All right, you ready for my number 1?
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
Well, I'll give you a hint. My number 1 was on your list.
Oh, dude, that makes me happy. Makes me happy that we agree on something.
Yeah.
That we at least have one in common. What is it? Let's hear it. Hold on. No. Let me think.
But the thing is, like, even though our lists were so different, I feel like we were both like, oh yeah, for each other's songs. Like your list, I'm like, oh yeah, that song, and then vice versa. You get a guess there, or do you want me to just tell you?
Did I skip one?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's hilarious. I messed up on my list. I had 11 on here, and I had 7 twice, and I just realized that I never said this number 7.
Well, tell us your number 7 first.
No, that's not my number 7. I meant to cross this one off. It was Smooth Criminal by Alien Ant Farm. That was gonna be one of my cross-offs, but I
Nice.
originally had it. That's funny. Anyway,
That's funny.
if I had to guess, it would probably be Sum 41.
Oh,
Or I don't know, dude. I don't know, maybe Tool. Just tell me.
all right, just tell me.
I don't want to guess.
My number one, I put 311 down.
Oh, I should have known.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This
That could have
song,
easily been my number one.
oh yeah. I can't tell you how many times I rearranged my top 10. But yeah, 311. I mean, this was one of my favorite songs when I was young. It's still a song I listen to now. Like, it's just, it gets me hyped. I mean, like, yeah, middle school, well, late 90s, 311 to me was just like cream of the crop.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff. And I mean, oh yeah, the Blue album, their self-titled Blue album, not Weezer, Blue album. They Offspring Smash was the first CD I bought, but 311 self-titled, that was the first cassette tape I bought. Back
Dude,
in the night.
I remember your cassette collection, bro.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Back in the 1900s.
Back in the 1900s.
But seriously, like I remember it was FYE, for your entertainment music shop.
FYE.
Main Place
Mall.
Mall.
Is dead now, right?
I think so.
Main Place Mall.
But
it's different now. It's like West Coast Shopping Center or something like that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like that was back in the day when they were still making CDs and cassettes, and it was kind of like when you didn't have enough money for a CD, it's like I'll just get the cassette or something like that.
How old are you, man?
Shh, quiet. No,
don't tell them.
Yeah, but yeah, I ended up getting the cassette for that, and oh man, the song Down though, it's just, I remember, and this was like when you couldn't just look up lyrics, but I memorized all the lyrics, like I still know it. So anytime it comes on, I just, there's a lot of things I forget, but there's something about music lyrics that's like, it could be years and it's like, oh yeah, I remember that song.
Yeah.
But yeah, 311, they were easily making my top 10, and the song Down, that was, yeah, my all-time favorite.
Nice, man.
So I put it at number one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was fun, man.
That was.
This list, go check out this list, guys. It's such a good list.
Yeah.
Like, Yellow Card. Oh, I gotta read my guest top list. My son, Hunter, yeah. He's 12. He put this list together. I'll just those are his honorable mentions at the top. So his honorable mentions are Black Parade and Pork and Beans by Weezer.
Nice.
His top 10s are Mr. Brightside, which I do believe the Killers, the Killers being in the top 10, Mr. Brightside, I believe that is a worthy inclusion for sure.
Yeah.
No One Knows, Beautiful Disaster by 311, Dance by Fall Out Boy, Lazy Eye by Silverstone Pickups, Down by 311 also.
Yes.
Iris by Goo Goo Dolls, In Too Deep. And then he has Pork and Beans again down here. I guess that's how much he liked it.
Nice.
Was great. Anyway, yeah, yes. I don't even know if that's 10. He just wrote some songs down because I told him mine, and I was like, he was like, how did you not have this one on your list?
Yeah. So those were our preferential top 10. Agree or disagree. Hope you enjoyed listening to that. So it'd be fun to talk with other people. It's like, hey,
I want to know, like, people are like, hey, you're a complete moron for not including this song.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how could you leave off whatever band? There's so many bands that we left off.
Yeah.
But when you have 500 songs and you can only pick 10, you got to leave some people off,
Yeah.
So,
Kyle, I'm shocked your top 10 didn't include Hooba Stank.
Hooba Stank?
I'm gonna have to have a talk with my cousin Brandon about that.
Oh, that's funny, man. Oh, that's really funny. There's some, you go through this list and you're like, why did they include some of these bands and why did they not include others that like this?
Yeah.
So again, yeah, how they made this list, maybe they went off of popularity of songs or requests or just some couple of people in the back room were like, dude, let's put together a top 500 list. I like all these songs. You like these songs. Let's throw them in order.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I'm scrolling through the list, and again,
same.
I'm just like, oh man, like I would have loved to include like Jimmy Eat World on there.
The White Stripes fell in love with a girl.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just such a fun song.
that is a fun song.
Nine Inch Nails is on there. Garbage. Again, I mentioned Garbage earlier. I love Garbage.
Yeah.
Linkin Park is on there many, many times.
Man.
Pennywise, used to listen to them back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Bastille, Young the Giant. A lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers on this list, but if you know anything about KROQ, they love their Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. Bush. That's 90s all over.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
man. My
Everclear, dude. Everclear was on the list.
oh
Father of
Everclear.
Mine, dude. Such a good song.
Yeah. Dude. Oh, Everything to Everyone. That was my favorite Everclear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm looking through my top 10 right now,
Rising
and
Ghosts.
five five on my top 10 are from 1994.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then 95, two from 96. Yeah,
Can you tell how
that's
old we
funny.
are?
First, what's that?
Can you tell how old we are?
Yeah. My top, or yeah, 8 of my top 10 are just from those first 3 years.
My top song's 97. No, pardon me, it's not 90. The Certain Shade of Green is 97. Sorry, Animali's not 97.
Mm. And I think, well, I mean, one, it's, good years for music, but I think I might have been influenced by like, look how it's like stood the test of time.
Yeah, I think that had a
So,
huge impact because it's like some of these
yeah,
songs, it's not like, oh, I love this, it's my favorite song today, but like look how well some of these songs have stuck around. Like
yeah,
Freak on a Leash. And I have a little more insight because I'm around middle schoolers all day, but I have kids that still they're surprised. It's so funny when they're like, "Oh, Korn, Freak on a Leash, you know this?" I'm like, "Dude, how? First of all, how do you know that song? Like, what are we talking
yeah,
about here? That I
yeah,
was your age when I listened to that, and I'm this age now, and you're gonna tell me how like?" So it's still around for sure. For that,
yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are, but
I think I've told you I was at Del Taco one time, and there were these kids in there. One of them had a System of a Down Toxicity shirt,
oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I came very close to, like, I just came from work, and I came very close to being like, hey, I had that shirt 20 years ago. Sweet shirt, man.
They'd be like,
But
"Okay, old man, go away."
yeah, get out of here, old man. Beat it. It's like, yeah, he's not gonna want to hear that. It's like, I'm gonna go home and burn this shirt now.
That's funny. Oh man,
Anyway,
Plain White Tees is on here. Bad Religion, 21st Century Digital Boy. That's a good song. There's so many great songs. It's so funny too because they like
yeah,
it seems like at the end of the list they're like, oh crap, we forgot all these bands. Can we throw these in? They threw a 3 Days Grace song,
yeah,
in there at the very end, and Angels and Airwaves at the very end. Plain White Tees.
yeah.
Cypress Hill
Oh,
actually has a couple songs on there.
yeah, yeah. There's one here. Oh, what was it? The Living End, Prisoner of Society. I heard that song on the radio like a month ago, and I was like,
Nice.
I haven't heard this song in years, but I was like singing along to it. I was
I
like,
know, right?
it
That's
got me
that's one
pumped.
of the great things about music is like whatever however your brain works. I'm not an expert on the brain, but however your brain and your subconscious works, man, the music, just like smells can bring back so many memories, music too can bring back so many memories. Like I'll listen to certain songs and then
Yeah.
I'll just be back somewhere where I was 15, 20 years ago, you know what I mean?
Oh
Where I
yeah.
listened to
Sure.
that band a lot. So
Man.
yeah, a great list. I mean, go check it out. KROQ top 500 songs over the past 50 years. Do keep in mind that they are a rock station, so you're not going to find a lot of rap. You're not going to find a lot of pop songs on there. Well, depends, I guess. Depends on how
What's
you
your
define
definition?
punk. Yeah.
Yeah.
You will find Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne, though.
Fountains of Wayne.
Oh, man. Anyway, White Zombie's on there, too. More Human Than Human. It's a good one. Panic at the Disco. Anyway, we could list off bands all day. That's our list, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, find some way to leave us some feedback, or maybe we should provide a way for you guys to leave us some feedback. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, I feel like that's on us.
Yeah, that's definitely on us. Because I'd love to hear, like, I know not a billion people are listening to us, but I'd love to hear, like, what you guys think. You know, maybe, oh yeah, hey, this was a good inclusion on the top 10, or this was a bad inclusion on the top 10. But yeah,
it's always fun hearing people's opinions. Like,
yeah, and that's what this is. This is just two dudes having a conversation, and hopefully people enjoy the conversation. You know what I mean? Feel like they're part of it. Feel like they're part of the conversation. Because those are the best things that I listen to, is when you're just part of a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, Kurt, you got anything else for us?
No, I mean, just that was fun, and hopefully they do something like this again, or we'll have to look up other lists and maybe just give our opinions on those as well.
Yeah, but, maybe like top songs of the 90s, then top song. Well, I feel like ours is already the top song of the 90s list.
We pretty much just did top songs of the 90s.
Top 2000s songs or something. Anyway, thanks for listening. We will catch you guys in a couple weeks on the next episode of Let's Rock Reviews. And until then, have a good one.
Peace.